Mr. Lockhart, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, the first part of the meeting was not broadcast. So none of the beginning of the meeting up to this point was broadcast.
Commission Counsel, what's your thinking on that? Should we start over then, or do we refer to the, is there an audio record?
Clerk, is there an audio record?
No, because Metro Cable had issues with broadcasting and recording. They were unable to.
Oh, okay. So what we should do is let's just do a recap. Either the chair or you, Don, can recap the items.
Okay, bye-bye. Hey, next time.
Okay, I'm happy to just revisit where we've been, if that's the pleasure of the commission.
That would be fine.
Okay, we did open with a quorum at 5:32. Commissioner Budge arrived just shortly thereafter. The commission approved the consent calendar with Commissioner Budge's abstention that she was not in attendance at the previous meeting. Moved by Jones, seconded by Lowly. Vote 6-0. Second item, or first business item, was Special District Advisory Committee. Brief background provided by staff, and then SDAC Chair Charlie Moore made the presentation. I have Jones moving the confirmation of all of the candidates, with Ross seconding that, and a 7-0 affirmation of that position by the commission. That brings us to item 6, proposed fiscal year 21-22 budget. Anything to add?
No. I think that's where we were. So did you want to pick that up a little bit from where we were?
Certainly, for the benefit of the public, we'll revisit the high points there, being that the budget is as proposed for fiscal year 21-22 at $1.013 This is a status quo budget in that it is not an increase from the previous budget year. The statute does require that your proposed budget be approved by May, with a final budget by June 15th. We're presenting the budget this evening to allow adequate time for interested parties, contributing agencies, to have a chance to review and provide any input prior to the final budget coming back. Recommendation is the final budget come back in 30 days on for the regular commission meeting of April 7th. Assessments will not change. The 1/3 funding formula, 1/3 for the county, 1/3 for cities, the 7 cities, and 1/3 for the special districts. That, as I say, fiscal amount is $718.5 of the overall operating budgets, and the 1/3 contribution of the various contributing agencies would be $239,500. None of the contributing agencies have raised any concerns in the past about this assessment. We will give them a chance to review this, as I mentioned, and their comments will be carried back to the commission. Any comments of the commission will also be provided to the contributing agencies for their consideration as they review. With that, we do have, I believe, EPS provided staff consultant support on fiscal matters with Mark Griffin. Alma, do you know if Mark Griffin has joined us?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. So with that, I conclude my presentation. We're happy to answer any questions you may have with the commission. Is everyone muted?
Don, just to clarify, this is the same budget amount that we've had since 2016. Is that correct?
That is, well, that's the same assessment that does add up to the same contribution. Good
Okay.
point. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So it has not been adjusted by the commission since 2016-17 fiscal year.
Well, not too many things we can say that about, right?
That's the direction of the commission is to cut costs, and that's what we do.
Okay. If there are no further comments, is this something that we should take action on at this point, or receive and file?
There is a resolution that it would be helpful to have the commission take a position, take a vote, and then that resolution can be attached to the proposed budget and routed for agency review.
Okay. Can I get a,
I'd like to thank Don Lockhart and the LAFCO staff for always doing such a great job on the budget and making it so easy for us to feel good about how things are managed at LAFCO. And I'll move the item. This is Frost.
And I'll be glad to second it. This is Commissioner Jones.
great. Well, will the clerk call the roll, please?
Yes, wonderful. Commissioner Little,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Budge. Commissioner Budge. Commissioner Budge, are you still there? Can you hear me? Oh, I'll skip her for a moment, come back to her. Commissioner Desmond,
Aye.
Frost,
Aye.
Liebig,
Aye.
Lilly,
Aye.
and we'll try Budge again. Are you there? Okay, apparently we'll mark her as absent for this one. Our next item is item number 7, the Florin Resource Conservation District, Elk Grove Water District Draft Municipal Service Review and Sphere of Influence Update.
Good evening. This evening before you is a refresh, if you will, of the Florin Resource Conservation District, which houses the Elk Grove Water District. The district is a subsidiary of the Resource Conservation District. Florin Resources acquired the Elk Grove Waterworks in 1999, ultimately came to your commission in December of 99 to annex that territory within the boundaries of the Resource Conservation District. The water services has a fixed footprint, which was the previous franchise area for Elk Grove Waterworks. The district, the commission did do the initial municipal services review, I believe 2014 or 15. Mark Madison, the general manager, can clarify any details as we get through the process here a little bit. The district operates on, the water district operates on the majority of all monies, services, aspects of the operations of the district are through the auspices of the Elk Grove Water District. Their Resource Conservation District efforts are minimal in that there's also a very limited funding sources for resource. I think that the commission, the Farm Resources Board has taken a position to emphasize water conservation and various water matters through the resource conservation arm and otherwise. The focus of the operations are on providing potable water service to over 12,000 homes and businesses within the city of Elk Grove. 30 permanent employees are on staff. The district is, it's a well-run district. We've had a good thorough review from the previous municipal service review, and this review carries forward that same standard of services. Your report notes that there's quite a bit of supporting information available to the public and to the commission on the website at this agenda item. If anyone members of the public would like to see more thorough discussions, I'm available for any of that discussion, as is staff from the district. Generally speaking, I have no points of concern. We do have Mark Madison, the general manager, available for any discussions. With the action this evening is requested by staff is that this draft Resource Conservation District Municipal Service Review be directed to staff for circulation for 30 days, review and comment by various interested parties, and brought back tentatively for the April 7th final consideration of the final meeting, or the final MSR, I should say, that if greater order of magnitude comments warrant further consideration, we would adjust the schedule, that follow-up schedule accordingly. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions of the commission.
I have no questions, but I have to commend the district on the volume of information that they provided in that review. It was quite a read.
Yes, and Mr. Chair, this is Commissioner Jones. I would also like to add a bit of thank you to Mr. Madsen and the district. I've been following the groundwater authority business with the South Subbasin of the American River, and I'm very glad to see Elk Grove and Associated, the larger district, Florin Resources, as a firm participant in that. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. It's a big effort on a lot of districts and agencies' part. So thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. Chair Little, I have a comment if it's appropriate, or when you would like me to comment.
No, please do.
Thank you. I just wanted to thank you, Chair Little, and the members of the commission for allowing me to be present tonight and to entertain the proposed MSR/SOI. We prepared this document in the spirit of, I don't mean to brag, but trying to put forth a document that could be mimicked and echoed by others. We took a long time to revisit the structure of the document. We think we've provided the commission and the community as much and more than has been requested. Transparency is one of our values. We have 6 major values, and that's one of them. We have worked hard to be transparent through the development, generation, and completion of this document. So we're very proud of it. But on a personal note, I want to tell you that I'm super proud of our district. I'm here to announce to you tonight, not that I'm bragging, but I'm going to be retiring on May 1st. And I feel like I'm leaving the district in a super solid state. I'm not bragging on my own behalf, because you're only as good as the staff that works underneath you. And our district is about as solid as I think we have ever been financially, from a resource standpoint, personnel, and also governance. We know who we are. We know where we are going. We have a newly adopted strategic plan that we follow very religiously. And I think, in general, even though we live in the world of water where there's always fights, we don't have any major conflicts with our friends in the region, and we're very, very proud of that. I'd like to trumpet some of the awards and achievements that we've received over the last couple of years, largely financially related, and in particular, the Excellence in Financial Reporting Award from the Government Finance Officers Association. We have now received that for 11 consecutive years. It's a pretty remarkable achievement, and I'm very proud of my finance staff for taking care of the books. I was always coached that if you take care of the money, everything else will typically fall in line. And like I said, we're pretty stable. We're very stable. I'm also very happy to announce that we're going to have a new home. We bought a new administration building, the Masonic Lodge in here in Elk Grove, and we're going to be working on that in the next year and a half, and that'll be a permanent home for our administration and our board, hopefully for 50 to 100 years. There's a beautiful article in the magazine called Ardent for Life. It's an Elk Grove magazine, very glossy magazine. This recent edition that just came out, beginning on page 64, has an expose on the Elk Grove Waterworks /service/district that actually goes back to 1892, when the bar caught fire and they realized that they needed to build a water system to keep the bar from burning down. So those are our roots. And as I indicated in that article, I've been here for 10 years, just a fraction of the time that we've been serving this community. I feel like I've left just a fingerprint on the community, but I'm super proud of our district, and I think the staff here and the leadership does a marvelous job. Thank you.
It showed in the report that you put together. It really did. So appreciate that. Kudos to you and your team.
Thank you.
Okay. Do we need a motion here to?
Yes.
Okay.
Motion, yes, please.
From?
I'll move approval, Frost.
Okay.
Second, Liebig.
Okay. Liebig second. All right. Clerk, please call the roll. I can't hear you. You're muted.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I didn't hear who was second on that one.
Liebig.
Liebig, thank you. Okay, roll call. Commissioner Little,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Budge, still absent. Desmond,
Aye.
Frost,
Aye.
Liebig,
Aye.
Lowly.
Aye.
Wonderful, all in favor, thank you.
Diane, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, Commissioner Budge. I didn't get your.
My vote on both of those is yes.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. Okay, I'll go back and correct my note. So that brings us to the questions and announcements. And we'll start with the executive officer.
Real quickly, for the benefit of the public and the commission, you may recall there was an item before your commission last month regarding consideration of a waiver of policy, which was granted to allow for concurrent processing of a sphere of influence amendment for a service only special district. As with that action, the Sacramento Regional County Regional Sanitation District has made a formal submittal of their application for their sphere of influence amendment concurrent with an annexation of the territory primarily south of the city of Elk Grove, north of the Consumers River Preserve. That material will be posted to the website shortly. It's fairly voluminous, and that way the commission, you will have a chance to get a head start in reviewing the support materials before the staff report comes to you for the April 7th meeting. So I just wanted to make everyone aware of that development. I have no other announcements at this time.
All right. Anyone else with an announcement? Okay. Well, that takes us to the next closed session, I believe.
Correct. So by housekeeping, the commission should adjourn the meeting to closed session. The meeting will remain open. Members of the commission, please log off of your current connection and scroll down on the access information provided by the clerk. Click on that link, and that will bring you to a closed session.
Okay.
Are you going to be setting that up, or are we going to rely on Metro Cable on that?
Okay, so we are adjourning the general session at 6:08 and going into closed session. So everybody can log off and log on to the other.
Okay. Just a point.
Thank you, Don. Thank you, Commissioner.
We would like to report out of the meeting. Diane, we're on, right?
I'm not
No.
showing that it's recording.
Right. This is
Oh,
almost.
see that.
Let me start the recording. Hold on a moment.
Thank you.
I just want to make sure you're ready to start the recording. There we go.
Recording has started.
Okay, recording's on, Nancy.
Okay, Chair Little we've come back from closed session, and we have the following to report. That the commission resolved unanimously that due to the retirement of Don Lockhart, our executive officer, the commission resolves commence a hiring process for a new executive officer and directs LAFCO staff to take all steps necessary to use the LAFCO authorized Sacramento County principal planner position, as well as outreach to the community in consultation with the commission to commence this hiring process.
Okay. Well, thank you, Nancy. I think that's our last item here of this meeting. That's it.
That's it.
So thank you. Then the meeting is adjourned again at 6:53.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. Take care. Thank you.
Recording has stopped.